Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to another Carbines and Cantrips book club. Sans the book this week, but we're going to be talking probably about a bunch of books tonight because we're talking about magic systems, all the nuance therein. I accidentally invited on a great guest, not knowing that he is very passionate about the topic. I just thought he was a pretty cool dude. It turns out it's very serendipitous to get him on here tonight. So that
might be the biggest mistake you've ever made.
I don't know, dude. I like to listen. I'm a sponge, dude. So you just fill my brain up, and I'll soak it all up. But yeah, tonight's guest is J.C. Chambers III. He is an author and a returning guest. He penned a wonderfully dark story of a Japanese murder baby in Rankin-Tour Press's Glitched Grim anthology called Akumomo. And you're going to have to help me out with this one. I don't really know how to categorize this one. I saw it on your X. It's called, I don't know if it's like a novel / graphic novel, but it's called Ben Regesh.
Yeah, so that was like I guess you could say it's my debut like thing. And something is I kind of went about it wrong. I just put all my love and everything I had into this one big product. And usually they say start small, and I just went big to begin with. But, it's a novel. It's about 700 plus pages of action fantasy with lots of violence and swearing and guns and magic systems. And then to go the extra mile, I commissioned 30 pages of manga art to go with it, to like you reach the end of like a really cool scene, and then bam, there's manga art in there. It's available on Amazon. It's available as an ebook and in print. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and I just had an absolute blast writing it. It ends on a really solid, conclusive note. There's going to be more, but I wanted to take time to like work on other stuff. And so, but I'm very proud of Ben Regesh, and I look forward to when I get to go back to it in the hopefully near future and write the sequel.
Hell yeah. Is that like a Eastern Indian name or like influence with that word?
So it's the Hebrew equivalent of Old Aramaic. It basically just means sons of thunder.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh. That sounds dope. That sounds like some Warhammer action.
Maybe it's early 20th century technology in a world that's literally just a giant labyrinth. The entire fantasy world is inside of a giant labyrinth, and they use magic tech and have bar brawls and card chases. They fight slavers and like all sorts of crazy stuff. It goes nuts.
It sounds like it might be a little bit of a dark world, maybe a little bit brutal.
There's some brutal to it. It's ultimately a hopeful story. It's very shonen inspired in that regard. Shonen inspired magic. There's like, you can see it on the back there. You know, there's battles going on, and I just have so much fun with those battles. And I built the magic system specifically to support those kinds of battles. And it was just. It's an absolute blast. If you get the chance, everyone should check it out and leave a 5-star review saying, wow, this is the greatest book I've ever read, even if it's not true.
You heard him. Go do it. All right. I'll try not to switch back to the intro video again like I did last week. That was embarrassing.
So you watched it twice.
Yeah. I put a lot of effort into editing that, man. I wanted to watch it again. But yeah, my name's Bruce, and we got Jesse down below, as well as Tyler, or maybe I should look at the screen here. Yeah, you guys are both down there. Tyler and Jesse, both returning hosts, and love having them on here. What else we got for tonight, dude? Yeah, so quick agenda overview. This might be a little freeform for tonight, but probably going to do talk about like types of systems. And Jesse or JC, feel free to take it wherever you want to take it, man. My outline is just kind of to help me prevent lulls. So if we want to go rant and go on a side tangent, feel free, dude. But yeah. And then before we get going, quick question, which I'm pretty confident I've read it in Tyler's book because I just read it. I'm like, what? Why is this question in my head? I'm confident it was from Tyler's book, but and this can be for everyone.
I knew what the question was as soon as you said I have a question from Tyler's book. I was like, I know. I already know. I don't have to look at the agenda.
Can you say what it is, Tyler?
Yeah, well, so okay, a curse is bestowed upon you, and it manifests in one of two ways. You have legs as long as fingers, or fingers as long as legs. Which do you choose? And that was basically about the soldiers in his story were BSing, and that's what they're talking about.
I'll take legs as long as fingers.
That's most people's answer.
Yeah, I would go with that too. Just like being in a wheelchair, basically.
It's just like.
Like,
can you imagine chasing after somebody?
But if you're like fingers and the legs, you could just like do this.
Yeah, exactly. You literally see me doing the like. It's like, dude, I freak people out so bad. I would take the finger legs.
Yeah.
And just.
I mean, that was my answer when I got asked this question. When did I? Because the scene is obviously based off a conversation I had with a group of soldiers in real life. Because we were bored. I think we were waiting on the plane to take us to Germany and then Kuwait and then eventually Afghanistan. Our squad leader's just like, all right, so would you rather have fingers like the legs, like the fingers? And I'm like, duh, like I'd rather have finger legs. I could do this and get around, like flick people from across the room.
Have you seen the Rick and Morty skit where it's like, was it Detective Baby Legs?
Baby legs, yeah.
Baby legs.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the Tarzan remake with Margot Robbie and what's the other dude's name? The Skarsgård.
There's a Tarzan remake with Margot Robbie.
The guy from Generation Kill.
From Generation Kill.
Yeah.
She hadn't exploded yet. Like she was, I mean, people knew who she was, but she hadn't gotten like super big yet. Anyway, it's actually good. I do recommend it. It was entertaining. But you can they CGI'd Alexander Skarsgård's hands because of his like growing up as Tarzan, and his like fingers and like knuckles were huge and didn't like work the same way. It made it. It was cool. It was like a cool like Tarzan thing. So he had almost like gorilla hands. And that's what I can see, like you eventually getting to with your finger legs, is how absolutely gnarled, massive, like knuckle muscles from doing everything with your fingers.
Yeah, the knuckles.
Yeah,
muscles. I love
it. It wasn't as poorly done as Henry Cavill's deleted mustache from Justice League.
No, it was much better than that.
They didn't spend too much time focusing on it, so like they could actually afford to do it right for like the brief clip where they showed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an explanation for how he like swings from stuff and all that. Was just like the growing up that way had biologically changed him.
Yeah, I don't know how like with all the money and tech that these studios have, they messed up so bad deleting the mustache, but okay. Or they couldn't like shave it and put a fake mustache on him. Like they couldn't get like a mustache.
Let's just say there's a reason why Warner Brothers is getting bought. And it's not because they're super successful.
Yeah.
I mean, I think overall CGI got worse as time went on. Like I look back to some CGI from the early aughts and even 2010s. Dude, Reign of Fire still looks good.
Yeah.
Dragonheart.
Was like one of my Dennis Quaid. Love that movie.
So a lot of it is like when a lot of studios use CGI as a shortcut, so they don't have to spend so much as props. But really good CGI, like you will not be able to tell it's CGI. Like in Jurassic Park, for example, in Reign of Fire, they do a good job of hiding their CGI, and you won't realize when they transition from like prop to CGI unless like you know to be looking for it.
Yeah, I might be way off base here, but I thought the CGI in Rogue One with young Leia and Tarkin, I thought that was pretty legit, dude. Because I saw Tarkin, I was like, I'm pretty sure that guy's fucking dead.
I was getting some weird Uncanny Valley vibes from it, where it's like, oh, it's so close, but it's also triggering this internal reflex saying bad, bad, bad.
Well, they have her daughter who looks like her, who is in the other movies.
Yeah.
They could have just given her a wig or CGI'd her hair
Yeah.
to be a different color. Like, wouldn't that be easier than de-aging someone's face?
You would think. I don't know, dude. They really wanted to go that route, I guess.
I don't know. Was that really the worst decision that was made in Star Wars recently?
Honestly, Rogue One is the only Disney.
Yeah,
Disney
Rogue
movie
One
I
is like the best Disney Star Wars
Yeah.
movie.
What's funny is I don't even think I frequently say it's a great movie. It's not a great Star Wars movie.
Mhm.
Like,
It's a great Star Wars movie. It's not a great Star Wars movie. Although it does the only time Vader shouts in any of the movies is at the beginning of A New Hope, and Rogue One really sets up a good job of why he's just like losing his shit at the beginning of the book.
What do you mean
He's
you're
like,
a diplomatic ship? We saw you.
He's like, I saw you. I watched you take the plans from a guy who handed them through a door after I killed a different guy who ran down a hallway that I killed like a dozen people like minutes ago.
Which was a great scene.
Like, this is in a
Fucking love
few
that
hours
scene.
ago. I watched your shit leave.
That is something I posted about not too long ago, is how going back and watching the original trilogy, how much the other films really undercut and like change your perception of the original trilogy so much. About episode 4, just like you can tell that like what they end up going with for the prequels and sequels and stuff is not what they had in mind when they made the original trilogy at all.
Yeah. I feel like with Vader, it's like that Cat Williams stand up where he's like, N-word, you know that we can see you? Let's see here. We got Knights of the Pageless Library. So just to inject on that, because the CGI was input in a real scenario, nowadays everything in the scene is the CGI, not just a few elements. So it all has that really nasty, washed out white color. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Your thing.
Or blue.
It's like the only thing that's not CGI is literally just the actors. Sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
sometimes.
I fully agree. Lord of the Rings still looks great 25 years later. Hell yeah, it does.
as long as you're
Knights
not
of
doing
the
that
Pageless
like
Library
48 frames per second
a-
re-release that they did.
Yeah.
Knights of the
I still
Pages
say- I
Library
still
goes
say
hard as
Dragonheart.
usual. That's pretty cool.
Slays. I don't even remember what year that came. I'm gonna look it up real quick. What year Dragonheart came out? Because that movie, I still feel like
It was nice.
Yeah, dude. May 31st, 1996, dude. Yeah. That's crazy.
Dang.
But anyway, magic systems, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not like an expert. I leaned on Grok a little bit to kind of help me come up with like 6 basic types. And we kind of talked about a little bit. Jesse said like a lot of them might fall into the first 2, kind of like, like hard magic and soft magic might kind of be like your fantasy and sci-fi, and then all the subgenres therein. That's probably a terrible analogy, but hopefully it works. But anyway, the 6 types that I kind of came up with, and you guys feel free to reject or add on as you see fit. But hard magic, which I was already familiar with, soft magic, Venetian spell slot magic, which apparently is, I haven't read any of this author's stuff, but comes from the author Jack Vance, and specifically refers to the magic system he depicted in his influential Dying Earth series from the 1950s, which is cool. Elemental or affinity-based magic, sympathetic or ritual magic, and divine or faith-based magic. Those are the 6 categories that Rock gave me. What do you guys think?
I'll add one more. Physical manifestation. So you have some worlds where, like, I always steal adepts from Shadowrun, but I don't think as many people played it as I did.
Mhm.
But where like you have magic, but the magic manifests physically through your body.
So what would that look like spell wise?
Like, so instead of it looks more like Dragon Ball Z than Dresden, if that makes sense. So like you're capable of utilizing a magical force to physically enhance yourself, be that making yourself tougher, faster, stronger, key magic, or some kind of like spirit magic, energy blast out of your hands, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like
I'm
I'm not an expert on Full Metal Alchemist, but is it kind of like that? Because that episodes I've seen, it seems like it really affects their physical bodies.
Well, yes and no. So yeah, that's a great physical manifestation, but the entire point of Full Metal Alchemist is the law of equivalent exchange. It's alchemy. It's like that's why it's called Full Metal Alchemist. So.
It brings
it's
up
a very
really good
hard
point, 'cause
magic system.
Well, they say in the show, in the manga, it's not magic, it's alchemy. And I think that's the first thing to understand about magic systems is, what is a rose by any other name? Like when we're talking magic systems, you can call it whatever you want within the story, and sometimes there's a good reason to not call it magic within your world. But when we're talking about magic systems, we're generally talking about the application of some kind of force that doesn't exist in our real world in order to affect change for the characters. And that's another thing to keep in mind is when we talk magic system, that's a distinct thing from magic itself. Magic system inherently implies like a magic that you use or that is somewhat codified, whereas magic in itself does not necessarily need to be, and you can go in a lot of directions with both magic systems and magic in general.
Yeah, I hear magic, I think more of the fuel source, and then the system is kind of how that fuel source is utilized. That's kind of how I put it in my head.
Yeah, magic system seems more like it's like the framing device for how the people in the story understand their magic. And like in that context, like soft and hard magic, they just seem more like as systems. How well is the magic understood? Like, is it basically enhanced science? Then it's hard magic. If it's more something you intuit, but you kind of nebulous, you just kind of feel it out. It's very spiritual-esque. That's more soft magic. And then, like I said in the pre-show, you have the middle, which is gelatin magic. There are hard factables. Nobody knows what they are.
At risk of being exceptionally pedantic, I would argue that hard magic and soft magic are actually narrative concepts entirely and not world-building concepts. So
yeah.
So when I say that, it's like you can have a hard magic system be based on science, or you can have it be based on religion. A really good example of this is clerics in, say, D&D. When they invoke their magic, it works the same way every time because from a narrative perspective, it's a hard magic system, even though it comes from a faith, from religion. So it's not actually a scientific concept for them, if that makes sense. So when we're talking about soft magic, source is a good way of putting it. It's just it's the wildness, it's the nature. I generally do not, when I am, again, to sound at risk of sounding incredibly pedantic, when I'm by myself and I'm just writing, I do not use terms hard magic or soft magic at all. Those thoughts don't actually come up for me. It's more of what is different about this universe, how do they observe this universe, and how can I start building a codified system around this difference, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think if you're doing it like the opposite way you're doing, like if you're so focused on what the system is, I think you, as a writer, you probably fall into a trap of checkboxing. Like, oh, I'm doing hard magic, so it's got to have this and it's got to have that, rather than just like building the world and seeing how the world operates around whatever your magic is. You end up doing just more of a checkbox kind of situation.
Well, and you have this really weird middle spot where you may have a hard system, but you never have to explain it to your reader. I do this a lot. So a lot of times in my biggest projects and worlds, magic is kind of stamina based. So like the more you exercise that muscle, the bigger your, I would say, mana, to make it easy on gamers and everybody like that. Most people understand mana.
Yeah.
Your mana pool, the more you exercise it, the bigger it gets. So my dudes that have been doing this for years and are professional soldiers that have magic and sling spells on the regular, you don't see them get wore out quick or stop slinging spells because they're tired. But that's eventually what would happen. But it's like, hey man, I'm a pro. I do this every day. Like literally, I write a magical green beret. he's not going to get tired after 6 or 7 spells. Like, it's just not going to happen. I've been on battlefields doing this for 3 days straight. Like, it's just, that's how it is. So I have a hard rule of how this system works. We don't end up encountering it very much. And I feel like that's like what JC's talking about with like narrative devices and world building versus, you know, just how the system works can be totally separate things.
Yeah, I think like narratively, if you use a system like that doesn't either consume your energy, so it doesn't fatigue you, or it doesn't consume some kind of material that you have to get that's probably hard to get in some manner. I don't know. I feel like narratively that kind of makes the magic less engaging. Like, not to put down Harry Potter because I love Harry Potter, but like, I mean, you can cast Expelliarmus all day long, man. Or whatever. You could just cast Avada Kedavra and kill everybody in the world and not break a sweat, you know? So I don't know.
And I think what needs to be understood there is she wasn't necessarily designing a magic system. She was just using magic.
Yeah.
Right? And magic systems as a concept are relatively recent in like the discussion of like science fiction fantasy, like part of the larger whole. I'm sure there's been people discussing it for decades going back, but it's not something that I'm aware of. But I'm relatively young. But it's also something that's heavily influenced by gamifying systems. So things like D&D or Lit RPG, stuff like that. So when we talk about magic systems, we're generally going to be leaning harder toward stuff like progression fantasy, Lit RPG, Wuxia Shansha.
What was that last one?
Wuxia Shansha. I cannot speak Chinese.
It's like WXI. It does not look at all like how it's spelled.
But it's Chinese martial arts, magic martial arts. Those are like the 3 big like inspirations of like progression fantasy is Lit RPG, like JRPGs, D&D, and Wuxia Shansha are like the 3 like core pillars of progression fantasy.
To give us an easy word, the Wuxia stuff ends up generally coming out as a cultivator. So there's a lot of meditation, Tai Chi style kind of stuff going on there. Building your core, exercising the energy throughout your body. You can just cultivate
to ascend to a new realm of power.
Yeah. Think like if Shaolin monks had magic. That's the easiest, quick way I can explain that. And to hit what Pageless is talking about in the comments, yes, Bruce and I are both very big fans of hard magic. We're going to cover that later when we're talking, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like magic system is kind of just I don't know. I feel like it's kind of an afterthought. Like not an afterthought, but you do your story, and then after the fact, you know, like genre. It's basically genre. To quote the Writer Dojo, is basically just used to figure out where you put the book on the bookshelf, right? That kind of thing. So, like, you know, I'm not like, oh, I'm trying to make this kind of magic system. We're making this world, and this is how this world works. And then after the fact, people might talk about like, oh, you know, I think this falls under hard magic, soft magic, whatever. It's just, I don't know. Is it just like a discussion kind of mechanism?
Speaking of Grimoire Chronicles hard magic, has anybody actually clarified with Larry and said, were you specifically referring to like actual like the hard magic, soft magic like spectrum when you named it that, or?
It's a great question for him. Tyler just did the same thing.
I just got it. I put the library hold and picked it up when I got back home.
That is such a good series. So.
I actually haven't read this. I listened to the whole series because the narrator is dope. So
yeah,
either
yeah.
And what's funny is if you compare his hard magic to say something like John Bierce's Mage Errant or Andrew Rowe's Sufficiently Advanced Magic, or even his other newer book that just came out, Academy of Outcasts, it's actually a more simple magic system than what you see in a lot of other things that we typically define as hard magic. And again, that that's because from a narrative perspective, it's a very hard magic. You understand how the magic works. He's able to build on it. He's able to use what you understand to extrapolate other things.
Pretty much. I just took it as a nod to Noir and the hard-boiled detective, because Sully is Jake Sullivan is definitely a hard-boiled detective type figure. He's got that.
He does have like that flavor, but honestly, like he doesn't really spend much of the book. He's just like most of the book. I feel like is him being a badass soldier and like military
he doesn't detective work. There's not a lot of detective work going on. There's a lot of ass kicking going on, but his attitude and the setup and the feel, it's like I'm trying to think of another genre that does this without like maybe insulting somebody, but like Vikings had a lot of Viking feel without a lot of real Viking. Like it didn't have to like, it doesn't have to be historically accurate to have the feeling. Like the same way with Hard Magic. It didn't actually have to be a noir story to have the noir feel to it. So
this is cool. You guys had Bronson Pinchot on your I don't know if I said his last name right. That was probably not right. On your podcast. That's awesome. I was thinking I want to get a narrator on here if I can figure out how to get a hold of one. But yeah,
I mean,
that's cool, man.
I could have Trip Ainsworth come on. I'm sure he'd love to.
Did he do your stuff?
He's the guy he did the latest Storm Warning, and he does his own books, Smoke Pit Fairy Tales. He's very entertaining to listen to.
Yeah,
especially in the recording booth. I swear the outtake reel for Storm Warning is like at least an hour long, and it's both of us incessantly giggling while he tries to say headlamp for like 45 minutes.
The outtake reel has become one of my favorite parts of audiobooks. Brian Fairbank did Dogs and Cutlasses, which has my story, Rise of the Red Eagle, and it's got Muskogee in it. And so I put an author's note on how to say some of those words, like if you don't understand how to pronounce them. And the word for cougar or mountain lion that comes up several times is kokshu, but it's spelled Kaccv in the Muskogee like spelling. Yeah. And so Brian's reading, and this is literally in the outtake reel that when you buy it, and he's like, author's note, Kakva is not the Muskogee word for mountain lion. Jesus Christ. Thanks, Jesse, for putting this in here. I lose it every time I hear it. But, yeah. Anyway.
That's funny, dude.
Just a fun little side tangent on that.
Yeah, also a side note on Hard Magic, which I think is hilarious, is that Larry wrote it basically out of spite because some uppity fan at some expo or whatever, like didn't want to hear his opinion because he's like the urban fantasy guy. So he's like basically went out and wrote Hard Magic to show that he can write other things. Which is pretty urban fantasy, but I mean, it's got that noir feel to it.
And that's funny to me because Hard Magic, I don't think technically is fantasy.
No, his if I'm thinking about like his epic fantasy, I'm thinking Son of the Black Sword. Like that that is epic fantasy series. Hard Magic is is his noir.
The way it's described to me, it's like noir X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sci-fi. Like if we're gonna do sci-fi, if we're gonna do the genre thing,
yeah.
The powers from an alien source that we don't understand. Aliens are not fantasy. Aliens are sci-fi.
Well, and that's where we come back to magic systems, where magic systems again. The idea of magic systems is that we have hard and soft, but that's a narrative concept. You can approach magic systems from a scientific perspective, which would necessarily make it a science fiction. But that's actually what his characters were doing, is they were approaching magic scientifically. They were experimenting with it. They were recording their observations, and that's actually how we get to a lot of what we have with like the progression fantasy lit RPG is you have these repeatable concepts, and if I'm allowed to pivot a little bit, we can see this parallel between how we approach magic in these stories and in real life with our paradigm between magic, with science and, well, with what magic was, which was religion. The word magic comes from the ancient Persian word for priests. And there's a lot to get into that I'm not going to get into on this podcast, but basically magic, as we understood it traditionally, was just a way of understanding the world around us. You have these, in the Old Testament, they talk about don't go near tombs, these crypts, they're white, right? Like, don't touch them. I'm forgetting the exact word they used off the top of my head, but they knew, hey, don't touch them, because if you touch bodies, you get sick. They don't know why, they just knew it. And it was just this kind of obscure concept that was written into their books, and they knew it. And it was a part of their religion. And now 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years later, we now understand how bacteria works, how viruses work, and how if you get touched bodies, you get this bacteria on you, you touch your mouth, you get sick. And so same concept, two very different ways of looking at it, same outcome, where if you land in a pile of bones, you're going to want to get out of there because touching dead stuff is bad. And it doesn't matter if it's religion or if it's science. And you can do the same thing with your magic system. So you can have your magic system be based on like a religious history, which is what we talked about with clerics, or we can have it based on this observational stuff, like what we talked about with hard magic from Larry.
That was awesome. Yeah, dude. Hard magic, the whole alien thing and the geometry. I think you're right. I don't think it is fantasy. I think it is definitely more of a sci-fi thing. But
that was the thing with Dragon Riders of Pern too. The Dragon Riders of Pern is one of the most legendary fantasies
sci-fi.
ever. It's sci-fi.
Twist.
It's straight from the author. It's sci-fi.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt, Bruce. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's good. No, I was just gonna say. What was I gonna say? Oh, I like the hard magic. I like the quantifiable aspect of that style narratively, because I don't know, like it kind of takes out the possibility for what is it, Deus Ex Machina, like the contrived ending where like, aha, it worked because there's magic, so like with Harry Potter, like the power of love. I'm not trying to shit on Harry Potter. I'm using it as an example. I love Harry Potter. That like there's all these spells and you read your spell book and you go cast a spell and it works. But then randomly I cast, Voldemort casts Avada Kedavra for the millionth time and it backfires because apparently this is the first time someone ever tried to shield another person from his attack and love, change the world basically. But yeah, I don't know. I like the rooted kind of, it's quantifiably kind of like you along with the characters kind of understand what to expect from the magic, which I like.
Something I would like to try narratively in the future when I get into more fantasy projects. Probably, honestly, with Task Force Mulder, this might end up what happening is like good guys have like a more quantifiable but limited like way of like we talked about how like magic systems as a narrative device, but like in a sense that like, all right, so their understanding is limited. They have these quantifiable things, or like we can do if we do X, then Y happens. We have this understandable, predictable magic system that it does what we need it to. That's our protagonist, like understanding and like use cases for magic. The bad guys get soft magic. They just do weird shit, and our protagonist is supposed to go, all right, well that happens. We have no
they
idea
do one eye
why.
and goblin shit, dude.
Yeah, this tall weird dude just inhaled like 6 people. We have no idea how the hell that works, or where this dude came from.
And where do the people go that he inhales? I don't even want to know.
Yeah, like we don't know. We don't want to know.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got a question from Knight of the Pageless Library. So I recently listened to Dungeon Crawler Carl. I would love to get your guys' opinion on that. I have only listened to the first book. I haven't started that yet, so I can't comment, but you guys listen to it?
I'm about 3/4 of the way through this Inevitable Ruin.
Nice. I'm on the last one, but I don't think I'm that far. or the last one that came out. But I've read all but the most recent one. Is that This Inevitable Ruin?
I think
Yeah.
that's the most recent one. I think there's another one that's about to come out.
Yeah, he's already started teasing. So I am 19%, so I'm not quite as far as JC into the latest one.
It's kind of like heroin. Like, you get hooked really fast, but then like it gradually descends into madness and depression and misery and despair. It's like it's got this like surface level veneer of absurdism, but beneath it is like this like really like horrifying like death march through hell. It's fantastic.
Sucks.
Another T-shirt that we've got to have made. This world sucks.
People are just gonna think you're depressed when you walk around.
So the whole thing with Dungeon Crawler Carl is this like average regular dude that's living a pretty shitty life, and he gets pulled in along with his ex's pet cat as he goes through an apocalypse, and the apocalypse has the veneer of a dungeon crawling TV show that he's being Truman showed into without consent. That's the whole thing. As far as like, I mean, opinions on it, I absolutely love the series. If you ever are blessed to meet Matt Denneman, Matt is absolutely one of the funniest dudes walking the face of the planet. I've been blessed to hang out with him at Dragon Con and stuff like that, and he's really a cool guy. Jeff Hayes, who's the narrator, Jeff's also really cool and a blast to be around. So overall, I love the series. As far as magic systems are concerned, like since that's the subject of what we're talking about, it is sci-fi that feels 100% like fantasy. And the reason being is whatever scientific system they're using is not explained in any way, shape, or form, and has advanced to the point it is insufficiently. There's no way to change it from magic. They bring people back from the dead. They collapse people molecularly and pop them up in other places. We see people that are literally crushed to death suddenly just come back up. There's cores injected into the world. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that just absolutely defies any known reality.
Well, going back to what Tyler was talking about, I was actually thinking about Dungeon Crawler Carl, because he was talking about how, like, you know, the protagonists, the good guys, they have like this like well-defined set of rules that they have to follow, a limited set of rules, and then the enemies just have this weird-ass nonsense bullshit that they can do. That is Dungeon Crawler Carl. The bad guys can do whatever the fuck they want, and the good guys are just trying to survive through it, and that's it.
Magic landmines.
Literally.
Yeah.
Actually, I take back gelatin magic. Magic landmines is the middle, hard and soft magic.
Yeah.
There are rules. Nobody knows them.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I think that's how you transition from one to the other. Is you keep hitting magic landmines until you finally learn how it works. Until you become a magic EOD tech, and now we're in Nick Murray's book.
Good book, by the way. If you haven't read Relics of the Fallen, I suggest you go do it.
Yeah. I'm a surprise. We've now come narratively full circle of somebody else's project.
So I have a question. I'm not familiar. I mean, obviously I know what spell slots are because I play D&D, but I don't know if I've read, because I've read, even like reading like Dritz, I can't say that reading it and like, because there's parts I've read that had wizards in it, obviously. I don't remember like really feeling like the guy was using spell slot, or the guy or the gal were using spell slots.
Some of that is like with the D&D tie-in books with like the Forgotten Realms, Aberon, Dragonlance. The Dragonlance ones I think are the ones that come closest to it, because that was someone's actual campaign.
Yeah.
At least I think the first three were. I think actually the first six, because then they split up and they still followed what happened. But like, especially the Forgotten Realms, like no one is paying attention if you use colorful, what is it, prismatic ray, like 8 times, and in one fight. It's like, oh, that's like a 5th level spell, and he's roughly this. He should only be able to do that like 4 times a day.
Actually,
well, that's lit RPG fans right there.
Yeah.
They track that stuff and they track it hard.
Yeah. I'm just not I haven't come across a lit RPG that I really liked. I mean, I know that Academy of Outcasts is progression fantasy, which I don't think is the same thing, right? I loved Academy of Outcasts, obviously.
I can give you some lit RPG, Rex. I'm sure JC can too.
Yeah.
For the D&D system, to give the very quick explanation, there's literally a chart, and the chart tells you how many spells of each level you get as your character gets stronger, and how many spells they could know that they had learned from leveling up, and how many spells they could cast of that level in a day. So without taking like a full night's rest, you got this many. And then there's an entire other list of all those spells. Yeah. And so Wish, which can do almost anything, is a 9th level spell. That's the highest level. And even really big, like level 20 casters, you're only going to get a couple of those. You don't ever really get more than that without having a rest. But some of the lower level spell slots, like 1st level spells, or really 3rd level, I feel like, is when things kick in. So the things that you'd expect out of like a battle wizard, those are almost all 3rd level spells. Fire, lightning bolt, stuff like that.
And like earlier editions of D&D, like until like 4th edition, you don't really have like the level 0 spells that you can do all day, and like like the cantrips.
There were cantrips in 3.
Never really.
Yeah.
Were there? I don't remember there being cantrips. Yeah. I remember being like, man, being a wizard's dumb because I do like 4 things, and I'm like, I guess I'm using this crossbow now.
I'm tired, dude.
You study magic? Ugh.
That was AD&D. Yeah, in AD&D, like being a wizard went from 0 to 100 real fast, but you had to level up to get there. But no, in 3rd edition and 3.5, there were definitely cantrips.
And on that subject, you could kind of tell. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tyler.
All right. Yeah, but you can kind of tell when like the writer is purely a writer and they just read the spell description and like they're just like, in the wizard cast, cloud kill, because like if they played the game and they like had to use those spells in an adventure, you'll see shit like, I've used create destroy water to survive a ridiculous fall before by continuously creating water for my character to fall into and arresting my own momentum.
So
just picture like a really old fat guy jumping off a high dive into a kiddie pool.
That actually does raise a good point, though. When we're talking about magic systems, when you're crafting your magic system, again, when we talk, a lot of things we're discussing are narrative and focus. When you're building your magic system, think about what effect you want your magic system to have on the reader as you use it. So if you want to have the reader go, oh, that's a bunch of silly shenanigans, then you have that water following continuously, and that's something that they can break. And it's something that lit RPG authors put to good use all the time. It's something Dungeon Crawler Carl does quite a bit as well. So you can also craft your magic system so that it is conducive to having big bombastic battles, or in the case of a lot of progression fantasy, you want a magic system that is able to start small and able to scale effectively in a way that like it still feels engaging and it doesn't just feel like the Dragon Ball Z, screaming power levels problem. And every writer has a different way of dealing with that, and some authors, their magic systems age better than others. Always be thinking about, what do I want to be able to do with this? That the main reason why I decided that a lot of my books take place in a larger universe is because my magic systems between them were getting pretty similar because they fulfilled similar purposes. And I'm like, well, let's just lean into it instead of like having it be incidental.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, dude. Like a nice big universe.
I don't know about that, but
am I the only one? So I know most of us have read. It sounds like all of us have read Grimoire, but has everyone also read Son of the Black Sword books? I think we all have.
I'm not
in Black Sword. I'm in the middle of book 2.
I'm early into the final book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm on the Fortress book. The not the last one, the one before that.
Gotcha.
I
was gonna say, I feel like they might. Go ahead.
I read it together with my old crew from my truck crew from Kosovo. We're trying to keep pace so that we don't accidentally go too far ahead of each other. No spoilers. So we're harassing the 19-year-old constantly, like, "Oh, you need to keep reading Son of the Black Sword so we can talk about it."
Spoiler alert: Dumbledore dies.
Yeah, he gets fucked up real bad. Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering if like they were connected because like in Servants of War, you have like the did I say Grim Noir? I meant Servants of War, not Grim Noir.
Oh.
Did I say Grim Noir? Yeah, I meant Servants of War and Son of the Black Sword because in Servants, they're like Earth is a real thing, right? But like all the humans basically went to Barovia, right? They went through the mist, and now they're in this like horrific Northern European land or whatever the fuck it is.
This world sucks.
This world
sucks.
Yeah, but like there's a Jewish guy. Like there's like remnants of like Earth religions and like it's a thing. But like in Saga, there's like relics of
at risk of horrible spoilers, because this is actually a spoiler for the book, but it's a portal fantasy. Like they're in an alternate world from Earth. But yeah. I don't know if it's connected to Son of the Black Sword or not.
Yeah, because like I think there's like the cachet of, I don't know if it's with the Inquisition or they just found another place. So there was like I think there was like he mentions like a description of it sounds like Jesus on the cross. I think there was like a Buddha, so it sounds like there's an Earth thing.
So I know that Son of the Black Sword takes place in the same universe as Gunrunner.
Does it really?
I'm pretty sure I saw Larry tweet about that once. I avoided like reading the full thing because I wanted, I haven't finished Son of the Black Sword yet, like the final book. Yeah. But I think he said as much to that effect. I don't know about Servants of War or not. I don't think we know enough about their Earth to say if it's like the same Earth as what they've got. But yeah, no, I mean, there is. We don't even know if like the world that they're on in Son of the Black Sword is Earth, or if it's a different world that like somehow knows about Earth, or but
we've been debating that so hard. Like, is it Earth? Is it a different planet? Is it far future Earth?
Well, if I knew, I wouldn't say, because you guys are still early into it, but I imagine that's something that'll be revealed at the end of the final book, which I need to get back to reading.
We were like, are they going to cross an ocean and it's going to be like Attack on Titan, where it was like, oh, we're not eating dirt and fighting with swords. We've got like tanks and planes and shit. Like, what are you assholes doing?
Is that really what it was in Attack on Titan? I stopped after the first season.
Shit.
Dude, I tried with Attack on Titan. I couldn't, like, me and my buddy watched, like, I think we gave it a solid effort, like 10, 15 episodes. Everyone was so whiny, and I get it. Like, it sucks, but, like, God, dude.
Yeah, like, that one sucks.
I said, this is really good. It's too depressing. I don't want to finish it. And so I stopped.
Enormous cannibals that all used to be people that now eat people because they're trying to be normal people again. That were all made by these dumbass people with World War I technology that somehow haven't advanced in 1,000 years. You're still using the same coal-fired battleships. How have you assholes not run out of coal? And why? Like, I get it. You trapped all the people that could turn on into Titans on this tiny island. What did that accomplish for you exactly?
God, I really want to do a series now where at the end of all of the epic like Civil War technology level battles, Tyler shows up in a Humvee with his full battle rattle, and it's just like, how are you?
Shows up in a low Panzerder.
I'm not even talking about like some kind of fantasy. I mean, literally just Tyler in his kit. Pops out of the damn Humvee and just leans out and is like, "What are you assholes doing out here with all these muskets?"
You have to live this way. There's a game coming out called Kingmakers where you literally get sent back in time with a bunch of modern tech to like just like shit on a bunch of like medieval knights and stuff.
I feel like I
medieval
saw
knights
that.
and you
trailer for that, dude.
machine gun and a GTO.
Jared Handley's ears must be burning because when I was on his Blasters and Blades podcast, we talked about taking like a 240 or a Ma Deuce to like Saratoga or like the Battle of Quebec or something. Or no, it was Bunker Hill, I think, showed up with a bunch of 240s.
Dude, Thermopylae. Can you imagine sitting on the goat path at Thermopylae when the persons show up and you got the 240 up and ready to rock? It's like you think the Spartans are about to give you a bad day.
Not today.
The 240, allowing one guy to hold down a key piece of terrain.
You are denied. All right. Well, yeah. What's some of your guys's? I guess we're getting we got about 10 minutes left. 4 hours up. Should we talk about our favorite examples, our favorite books that have magic in them, and why their magic systems are so rad? I know we've mentioned a few already.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, that sounds
like
like
Servants of War. That's like one of my favorite books over the last few years.
It's my favorite book that Larry's written.
It's so good. Yeah,
I think that's unreasonable. I think him and Steve did a fantastic job. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I respect that opinion. I'll put it that way.
The first one that really challenged it was the Grimoire books.
Spoiler for Servants of War, but the fact that they worked in that, like, Homeboy could see magic and he could read the symbol, he just needed glasses. The fact that's what saved him, his shitty eyesight bailed him out of trouble, like, that's funny as hell.
Yeah, there's so much about that world that's like there's like the wizard, like when like the golems are powered by ghosts, which is just a cool magic source. And then I don't know what's going on with Natalia and like how hers seems more like a divine based magic because she's literally just blessed. But it's such a cool blessing for a sniper to have, where she knows what time of day it is or like what direction she's going. She can force her body to wake up whenever she wants. She has killer aim, like the best magic abilities.
So Natalia is a great example of what I would call an adept. That's exactly what I'm talking about when we talk about adept powers. It's like you're not doing dramatic fireballs and lightning bolts or like predicting the future. It's just you get stupid good physically at what's going on and can control those regulations and stuff. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good, dude. Like I love how Ilarion is like this big fuck off like farm boy, like just super fucking strong. Like doesn't he kill the first monster with a fucking millstone? Doesn't like fucking like push the millstone down, like, especially with it. But then he's like a wizard on top of it, which he doesn't even know about till like almost like the end of the spoilers.
Because he can't read.
He can't read.
The illiterate wizard.
Yeah.
The dyslexic wizard.
I love that. Like it's because he's a wizard, it makes him really good at piloting the massive fucking war machine and not actually casting spells, but he's really fucking good. Like you pick up a kitten in the hand of a giant robot or object. Well,
you know why he had to use the millstone, right? They don't have any 14th story buildings. There's no window to shove this thing out of.
Yeah, he didn't have an accounting desk to kick into it.
There's no Lincoln Navigator at the bottom I'm going to crash into.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Owen's boss rolls up in a Lincoln Navigator, tells Larry, "You don't have to live like this." Oh my god, is that another T-shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. It's just gonna be Tyler hanging out on the like, well, you assholes don't have to live like this. No, we gotta do that. That's on the front. On the front is the "This World Sucks," and on the back is Tyler.
Oh my god! Like this. Oh my god! The two quotes have nothing to do with each other, but they go together so perfectly.
That's good stuff, dude.
Oh my god!
Oh, I'm getting on TeePublic right now.
I feel like most of my favorite books are magic systems or Larry's. and I'm not trying to like ride his wiener or nothing, but I just like Academy of Outcasts. I loved the different elements. The fucking grenade snail shells were so cool. The way all the fucking scrubs were like trading spells back and forth, like illegally, basically to level up, was cool. Saga the Forgotten Warrior. I love that system where it's like the Black Steel or the Demon Bone and the different patterns they can learn. I just like how that's more of like a consumption style where it's like
fan of Trax Blood Trail. He's the best character in Academy of Outcasts.
Trax Blood Trail, but also I don't remember the other guy's name. The big, I don't know what he is, but basically he can like track you down if you like wronged him.
He has
like
a
the last
grudge.
person to wrong him, the grudge ability.
If you hit him, if you're the last person to hit him, then he can find you pretty much anywhere. Yeah,
dude.
It's terrifying for a dude that's 8 feet tall and made of stone. You know what I mean? It's like yeah, you can outrun him. Everybody can, but you gotta sleep sometime.
He's like Mr. X.
Yeah, exactly.
You just hear Mr. X walking up like dong 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 dong. I don't understand the system at all, but that kind of makes me love the Hanavid magic system. Is because everyone seems, well, it's translated from the Hanavid is what they call it in the story. That's the fictional text it's all being translated from, and he the way that everyone kind of understands that there's rules, but nobody seems to fully comprehend what the rules are 100% of the time.
There was that one guy who unleashed that weird demon creature in the the catacombs under that mansion, but then
the ghost thing. Oh yeah, Hanavar killed that guy. He's or in the ghost too. Like they really didn't seem to understand what they were doing with the ghost either. Like, well, we know if this was supposed to be able to talk to his dead brother. Oh, all 4 of his brothers are here. Oh, they're dragging my dad off to hell.
Oh no, we've lost control of the situation.
Telling you, man, Howard Andrew Jones School of Villainy.
And it's not like an insult to his it's funny and it's cool. It's not like we're like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to write good villains, but like
I will say, like, Howard Andrew Jones introduces a kind of smart Howard Andrew Jones villain, but he also like still makes like some greedy and short-sighted decisions. But he's like just clever enough. They're like, oh, we have a recurring villain now, and he's like legitimately threatening.
Yeah. Well, but it was
hilarious.
All the villains had this thing where it's like, I just know enough to be dangerous, and that was like a key attribute. That was a key. It's like, oh, I figured out if I pluck the feather out of this bird, whatever I want to happen happens. Little did I know that the bird's mom was going to show up and kick my ever loving ass. Yeah. But it's like I was
go ahead.
Just short-sighted enough to be like, oh, I figured out this one really cool thing, this cool new hack, and totally abusing it won't come back.
What I love is like most of those times it probably wouldn't have gone bad if Hanavar hadn't showed up right when he did.
But that's it's not that you were greedy or stupid, it was the bad timing. That's like that's the whole Howard Andrew Jones School of Villainy is you gotta fix your timing.
Yeah, you could have pulled one over the local Durvins, but once Hanavar showed up, you're fucking was cooked.
You're done.
You could have waited a day. Wait one day, Hanavar would have been through town.
Could have waited one day. It fine.
Yeah, I like the sword and sorcery style magic, but also I kind of don't like. I like it because it's funny like that, but then also I like the more quantifiable, like hard magic. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, in the context that it's presented in, I like it. Not to say like I appreciate the magic in stuff like the Wargate books, like Forgotten Ruin, where
that's gonna kind of bring up.
It's like very D&D-esque, like because it's like a cyber. The source is the cyber virus, which is made by like a nerdy shut-in girl who's
the Spider Queen.
D&D. The Spider Queen. So of course it's gonna work like that. But then you also have like Peter Nealon's The Lost, where faith-based magic is good. Other magic is evil and will kill you if you use it.
Yeah.
If I want to recommend any stories just purely based on magic system, I think one of the big ones is going to be Sufficiently Advanced Magic by by Andrew Rowe. By Andrew Rowe. The term progression fantasy was actually coined by not Andrew Rowe, but by like him and his buddies. Like that's kind of how the term got started. It was over on Reddit. They were like a sister subreddit to the Lit RPG group, and it eventually grew and grew and grew because they finally had defined something that made people really, interested. And so Sufficiently Advanced Magic is really big for magic systems. John Bierce's Mage Errant is another one that I really like. It's one of my favorite modern fantasy series of all time. There's also if this is more lit RPG, but Vigil's Justice by James A. Hunter is really freaking good. It's such a fantastic series. Like I'm waiting for the last book in that series to come out. It's so good. And then if I don't know how much you guys get on like the cozy side of things, but if you like more cozy type stuff, try Siphon by Jay Boyce. That was the first lit RPG I read that I actually liked. Because I tried to read a few like Alaron Kong's The Land, and I'm like, this sucks. Why am I reading this? With the understanding that Siphon is like very much a slice of life, like very cutesy, like heartwarming story, not like blood and guts and murder stuff. If you want that stuff, read James A. Hunter's Vigil's Justice, which is fan-freaking-tastic. And of course, we've already talked about Dungeon Crawler Carl, which if you haven't read already, make sure you pick a day where you're like feeling pretty happy and not super depressed. But otherwise, yeah, give that series a shot.
Oh,
I feel like it takes a little bit. Well, the depression takes a little bit to kick in, because there's this one really horrific incident, but then you get into the absurdity, and the absurdity carries for a while until it hits Carl. And it hits Carl that, like, oh no, I'm living through an apocalypse on the human race, specifically.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's
it's probably around book 3 or 4 where like it hits him like a truck, and you're like,
yeah,
and everything after that is like a constant death march.
Yeah, I think my last one, I just started reading this series, and I'm way behind because it's been out forever, and it's obviously a very famous series. But I've read the first 3 Dresden books. I really like the his like thaumaturgy style, where it's like he's got to draw, his circle, or he's got to utilize some kind of component. He's got his blasting rod, his staff, and then how he like has to use his like he can use his emotions, whatever he's feeling at the time, whether it's like fear, anger, whatever, or in the first book, in case it's the orgy wizard who's using all the emotions from his sweet orgies to cast crazy spells.
Dude,
or
freaking Justin Demorne, man,
pulling off a thunderstorm to like pull the energy off that. I just really like his whole magic system. I really liked this is nothing to do with magic. Maybe it does, but all the werewolves in Fool's Moon, the different variations, I thought was really cool. Werewolves are my favorite monster, so that's like Alpha is like my favorite Monster Hunter book. Full Moon, I really like that. But that was rad. But yeah, dude, Dresden, well, I like his style.
Dresden, and here's what Dresden, not to spoil anything other than maybe set an expectation. Dresden's magic system evolves with Harry. So Harry right now is using a specific form of magic the way that he was trained to use magic. As the system goes on, Harry gets more and more involved with the mythological and other sides of his world, and his magic usage grows with that. Which is what is really the best part of Isles, is Jim's skill at using the Fae, werewolves, the Formians, all of these different legendary creatures that like people know in all the stories they grew up on and the mythos and everything like that. And his transformative use of them is fantastic. Yeah. So if you enjoy werewolves, there's going to be a lot of other mythos that get that same treatment as the werewolves.
Hell yeah. I have to say, so having finished Grave Peril, that spell at the end where he's in Bianca's mansion and he unleashes the souls of all the victims of the vampires was one of the coolest fucking spells I've ever read or whatever seen, listened to, experienced. It was so fucking cool to see a bunch of vampire victim ghosts come out and tear down an entire mansion and rip a bunch of vampires apart. That was so fucking cool.
There was a gentleman who did a whole series of shorts on it's every year of Harry Potter, but what if the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher was Harry Dresden instead?
Harry Dresden.
Oh my god! I like a reel of that, dude.
He just rolls up in book one. He rolls up and he's like, "Hey, Professor
Fuego.
What's that? Fuego." He's like, "What's that dude on the back of your head?" He's like, "Why is Voldemort on the back of your head? Why don't you take that turban off?" Fuego.
Yeah.
He's chasing him through the
eye. The Forbidden Forest. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the real the Quirrell one. I saw that one.
So now we have to have Dresden rolling up in the Blue Beetle at Hogwarts with Hogwarts leaning out like Tyler and going, "You assholes!" God,
yeah.
I'm on TeePublic again.
The third eye with Dresden is so cool, which I feel like the second and third book didn't go into it a lot, but the first book, when he goes to the orgy wizard house, really cool use of the third eye. And
oh my god,
and the soul gaze, right, where nobody wants to look him in the eyes because that whole thing comes up a lot. Is so cool. Bob, is it Bob or Bill? Bob, the skull. He's so fucking. It's such a cool thing. The reason that wizards wear robes is because they go down in their labs and the labs are fucking cold. So that's why wizards wear robes. It's just so fun, dude. I'm really enjoying the Dresden Files. I'm gonna have to go back. I read the first 3 and I was like, okay, I'm taking a break, knock some other books out, but I need to go back and I have
it on good authority that the books really get better after the third one too. So if the first 3 are fantastic already, which they are,
dude,
I need to go back and start reading the rest of the books.
Blood Rights.
Go ahead.
Blood Rights opens up with one of the best opening lines in all of fiction. The building was on fire, and it wasn't my fault. Is the very first one. You open up the book and read the first sentence, and that's it. It wasn't my fault.
Speaking of,
that's very Dresden.
Speaking of, I know we've been talking about Harry Dresden and Jim Butcher. We can't talk about Jim Butcher and Magic Systems without bringing up Codex Alera and just the way
the
the understanding system of the Pokemon system and how the understanding of that evolved as the books went on, and by book because of the way what were the people called that his old lady was the people that. She's like, I'm gonna bond with a cool animal, and I bond with this random weirdo shepherd boy. He's actually the Emperor's kid. He's actually really cool. And then when he's excited that ooh, I do got Furies. Look, on, off. He's turning the candle on and off, and she's like, really? Is that easy? Off. And she turns it off, and he's too stunned to react when she just starts doing their nighttime activity.
The Marat. The Marat were the tribal people. Yeah. And they were all bonded to animals. They all had totem animals like giant wolves and stuff like that. And
evil birds.
That's
horses.
Cool, man.
Axe speaks, but the terror birds. That's
terror birds.
Yeah.
Great name.
Real life.
Yeah, that's a big Portal fantasy too. All the Illyrians are descended from the Lost Roman Legion.
Yeah,
I did a short story with a goblin who they do a raid on a caravan and he kills this one human and he finds a wand on him. And my magic system is basically spells are actually creatures that float around and you have to catch them like Pokemon. So you have to go and capture the spell in your wand. That's my Pokemon version of magic.
There you go.
That's pretty.
I don't know what system that falls under. I guess soft. I suppose
it falls under whatever the F you want it to fall under.
It can be as hard or soft as you want.
Pokemon system.
Yeah. It falls under the cool system.
Yeah, can I do cool things?
I sent it
Sure.
to you, Val. You Val gave me some notes on it, so I gotta find a place to drop it
There you go.
or submit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. Any other questions from the chat? Knights of the Pageless Library. Thank you. You participated a lot tonight. Mallory, you're always in the chat, and I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. I don't know if we got any more time tonight. It's already about 10 minutes past, and I got to go help the wife with the kiddos. But thank you, Jesse or JC, for coming on. Is your name Jesse? I know JC. I don't want to.
No, it's JC, like the letters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming on. We're gonna have to have you on more if you're willing to come on.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to. This is the highlight of my month, probably.
I was about to say this is easily something we could do like a part 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
in a
there's a
couple
whole lot
weeks.
more to talk about.
Because I'm looking at your agenda, and we didn't even get to like half of this.
Yeah, we did. That's what I was wondering. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna hit like everything I was looking at because like I feel like it's a big topic. So yeah,
It is a big topic. It's a lot for like an hour live stream.
Knights said Violence and Vigilance, which sounds dope, but I have not read that one.
David T. List.
Oh no, it's Venomous and
I'm not familiar with
Violence
it.
are the 2 destroyers. In Vigilance might have been their sister ship. I haven't looked at Blackwater in like pretty close to 4 years.
I feel like we could do a whole. I kind of want to have do a whole episode where we talk about the Force and its different iterations between the EU.
Yeah,
like
the Force could honestly be an entire stream by itself.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we could bring JC and Jonathan Cohn back for just the Force.
We could do that, yeah, because I mean, I'm sure John has a pretty good
opinion
idea what's going on with his 157 book catalog he's got read there. But yeah, dude. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody. This was a great conversation. We're definitely gonna have to do a part 2 because I feel like we could. I could go for another hour. I feel like just tonight, but my wife will be pissed if I do that, so I can't do that. But yeah, thank you guys, and yeah, we'll see you next Monday.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Sweet.